Hi, my name is Ben McLean. This is my second semester in psychology, and I'm interested in all things pertaining to clinical psychology and cultural impacts on psychopathology. For my presentation, I wanted to talk about artificial intelligence and robots from a cultural psychology standpoint, and if specifically, robots and AI can offer the same social feelings that humans apply to each other. This topic is important to me because I feel there is a risk that AI and robots will take over the domain of psychology, and I really want to examine that. I found a research paper called Stress Relief Through Tradition: The Psychological Restoration Effects of AI versus Human-Created Cultural Videos by Boyuan Wang, which tests the effectiveness of AI's ability to soothe people with traditional cultural short videos. Think about the way that TikTok soothes us and distracts us from our stressors. Can AI-generated videos invoke the same feelings with us? I will be discussing the paper's objectives, its main findings, the significance for cultural psychology, and I will expand on the current limitations for the usage of AI as a clinical therapist, specifically how its sycophantic tendencies can cause what's known as AI psychosis, which we will get into later. First of all, as people are turning to digital media a lot more for stress relief and self-soothing, it meets culture, which is any kind of idea, belief, technology, habit, or practice that is acquired through learning from others. Ignoring the cultural aspect of the increase in AI and robot usage would yield a weird understanding of the topic at hand, because AI generated content has been incorporated into cultural spaces too. Next, we must understand a few key terms like machine aversion versus appreciation, which is how likely you are to avoid implementing technology into your life versus implementing it. Of course, there's the term of cultural psychology, which implies the mind and our behaviors are reliant on culture, and will be the core explanatory lens in which we consider this article. It is important to note that the way people interact with machines is not universal and is indeed culturally dependent. For example, in East Asian cultures, and specifically the Japanese way of thinking about machines, has been founded upon their religion of Shintoism, which taught them to treat non-human things as capable of having essence or a spirit. To them, robots can be social and relational partners, like sex robots and therapists in some cases. Contrastingly, in the Western context, it was influenced by Christian human exceptionalism and later anthropocentrism, which suggests that humans are indeed fundamentally distinct and better than non-humans. In this context, robots are unnatural and seen as other, and sometimes threatening, as seen with the rise in fear and talks about robots taking over our lives, like in the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron from 2015, where a robot quite literally takes over the world and kills people. Finally, the main term of the research paper is psychological restoration, which is the process of recovering your mental and emotional state after a stressor, like speaking in an oral presentation. Traditionally, humans were drawn to nature and the arts, but now we are seeing people being drawn to technology and doom scrolling for that purpose. The knowledge gap is whether AI can generate a short form cultural video like claymaking or a cooking video that provides the same level of comfort that an authentic human made one does. This question is important for cultural psychology because these cultural videos are more than mere entertainment sources. They represent identity, symbols, and cultural overall. If we were to see an AI takeover of video making, then it could change how culture is transmitted, from the traditional horizontal, vertical, and oblique to an all-new category and domain of its own. Additionally, if AI is able to comfort people, then where does it end? Could we see an AI therapist take over in the near future? To test if AI can provide a human-like authentic sense of culture, the researcher used a large online sample of 1,318 participants recruited through a national web-based research panel to test this hypothesis. Each participant was randomly assigned to view one short video adjacent to a TikTok showcasing Chinese cultural heritage. 2 videos were made by AI and 2 were made by humans. Wang made sure that the videos were equivalent in terms of length, presentation rate, and accompanying audio to ensure the participant was equally stimulated in all case scenarios, isolating the variables adequately. Afterwards, the participants were asked a series of questions about the video's creativity, refreshment capability, stress relief, cultural familiarity, and their willingness to consume more videos of that nature. The results are compared through structural equation modeling to reveal the truth whether AI can produce similar soothing emotions like humans can. Surprisingly, the results indicate that both cultural videos were able to have this psychologically restoring effect. Even more shocking, the AI was shown to have scored higher in creativity, this being the key to its success in providing effective stress relief. Furthermore, the desire to continue watching was higher in the AI group. Theoretically speaking, these findings indicate that authenticity and emotional meaning must not always be created by humans, but rather, the results indicate that meaning is made from the viewer themselves and whether it aligns with them emotionally. In other words, as long as the AI can create something that is understandable and accessible, then the viewer can attribute meaning to those works regardless of who made them. In lay terms, an AI can create a video of someone making a stir fry with the most colorful ingredients, and this could be more stimulating to the viewer than a human made one. Whether it is authentic or not, the viewer connected more with that video because it is more creative and evokes a stronger connection to their culture as a result of that. In terms of my critiques of the article, my first thought is if they were able to find the right artist to make an incredibly sensational video, if the results would be any different. Otherwise, the study is strictly reliant on self-report measures in lieu of biological indicators of stress like heartbeat, dermal conductivity, and blood pressure, which can potentially create some issues. The researcher also focused on one culture, which could influence the applicability to other contexts and cultures, for example. Additionally, it only tests for the immediate soothing nature of a short-form video and doesn't consider the long-term stress-relieving qualities of it. However many limitations the paper has though, it provides a very good understanding of the fact that aesthetics are the primary driver of emotional restoration, adding nuance to the way we conceptualize cultural media and its effects. Now, to get into the juice of this article and how I interpret it, these results are highly pertinent to the use of AI in the world of psychotherapy and to the understanding of sycophantic behaviors in AI-based therapeutic environments. Yes, we are really talking about AI therapists because, as one researcher puts it, there is increased anonymity with machines, so the likelihood of sharing and feeling comfortable to not hold back goes up. Evidently, Wang's study proves that AI can evoke the same sense of comfort that a human can. But what are the limitations in the therapeutic realm? Take for example ChatGPT, who in March 2025 received an update in order to sound more polite, friendly, and more helpful. From a therapeutic standpoint, being a yes man is not what we need. The sycophantic responses that ChatGPT provides can be over-validating and leads the client to emotional comfort without any psychological growth. Effective therapy requires you to be a little uncomfortable. It's supposed to challenge you, question your distorted beliefs, and reflect on them, not just settle in with your emotions and reaffirm them completely. Another researcher remarks that AI has a parasitic social quality in which it exploits our human social heuristics, like anthropomorphism and empathy, to leverage our desire for affirmation to keep our engagement with the machine high. Through a capitalistic lens, in which you pay for AI services, you could say that these companies are monetizing off of our desire to be affirmed. Will AI be more palatable and popular with the rise of AI therapists, or will we all see the overwhelming benefits of human-to-human connectedness? Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.